name is SADÉ Lawson. I am a visual artist and muralist currently based out of Austin, Texas, and I am originally from Central Texas.
What is it you do?
So, mostly everything that I do is just visually arts-based. And I just say that because it's kind of reaches beyond one category. So I do murals, I do like private commissions, which is like canvas work. I've got to do like some illustrations for kids' books. So I don't know, I'm open-minded as long as I get to do some sort of visual art. Yeah, I'm game.
Where is your family from?
So my mother's side of the family is actually from Poland, but they live in Germany, and I actually got to go on a trip there for a couple weeks and kind of find a little bit more about like myself and my roots and all that stuff. It was really cool. And then my dad is from West Virginia, so it's an interesting mix of people, but yeah.
What brought you here to Austin?
So I've lived in Texas most of my life, and I have been visiting Austin since I was younger, and I think living kind of around a few places, you know, once I came here, I knew I want to be here. I like the vibe of it. I mean, this was probably 12, 15-ish years ago, when I first started coming up. So it was a slightly different vibe, but it's still compared to San Antonio or Dallas. I hadn't really been to Houston that much at the time, but it was just yeah, this is where I want to be.
And so, what makes your space unique?
I don't know, it's kind of a little bit layered. So obviously visually it's kind of a lot, but I feel to me I like being stimulated in that way. I like a lot of colors, the different textures, the rug and everything. Also the smells, I like to burn candles, so it kind of smells good in here. And then usually have some sort of audio also kind of going on, so I can get into the right space to get going.
That being said, how does your space come to art?
I guess it just really inspires me and energizes me to actually get going and move.
Helps you improve your
Knowing if I keep pushing, if I keep working, not only where I could be, that keeps me motivated, but then also the joy of not just sharing my own stories, but being able to share other people's stories. That definitely motivates me. So being able to get to that point where I'm actually going to, follow through and just doing the stuff that I want to, and it's all possible, but you just gotta keep moving. And it's not an instantaneous thing, and I think that's the biggest thing too. It's kind of just taking those little steps every day, and yeah.
Your dream collab?
I would love to work with Roshi, which I bet I could if I reached out to her, just because that's somebody that I really like. Man, when there's somebody who you, in a sense, obviously people are people, but you idolize them, you look up to them, and to have them validate your work, it would be so dope to work with them. Big time artist, I don't know.
Where are you right now?
I honestly feel I'm, even though I've been working for a bit, I feel I'm just getting started. Because I just got my studio space months ago. I feel my technical skill is just now getting to the point where I feel I don't feel limited to saying what I want to say, because in the past it was I have so many ideas, but I knew I could not technically pull it off. And I have had the great just opportunity to kind of work with a few people, so things are slowly kind of starting to build up, so I kind of feel things are just now kind of starting to pop off. All the groundwork, the foundation has been laid, and now the house is starting to get built. So yeah.
How do you want your viewers to feel when they consume and view your art?
I feel like the first thing, like, initially is, like, joy, if that's, like, the intent of my work, because sometimes I feel like that's not necessarily what I'm talking about, but based off of the subject matter and the color choices that I use, I would say maybe joy, yeah, optimism, just general, like, uplifting kind of feelings. Like, you want them to be captivated and to, like, remember, like, seeing it because of, like, that.
What feelings or moods do you integrate the most into your craft?
I like conveying, like, confidence and, like, just, like I want to just say, like, I'm that bitch kind of, like, energy, like, honestly. I love kind of carrying that way about work, because I do feel like the world is just, it's shitty enough. Like, I don't, like, if I want to talk about, like, mental health or, like, pain and shit like that, like, I will, but it's a lot more fun to show, like, people feeling like themselves and, like, feeling like just good. Like, I like capturing that.
How does the world around you kind of influence your work?
I feel like it's kind of tough. Sometimes I feel like the climate of the world, like, it makes me want to say something, but in that same flight, like, or in that same thought, like, because it is the way that it is, it just makes me want to keep just showing, like, the confidence, the positivity, the good side, because there's just enough of, like, the shit that other people are talking about it, they can do it. Like, I just kind of want to, like, just do my own thing. So I try to be influenced, but not so much that it's, like, really the main message, like, of my work.
How does the space of the world
Man, I feel like that's where, like, it all kind of comes from. That's where we, like, tap into, you know?
How would you describe your craft as a planet or universe, if you could? So if we were to leave here and go to your universe, what would that look like?
Lots of rainbows. Lots of glitter. I don't know how people would feel about that, but just, it would feel good, warm, smell good. Like,
What is your worst fear when it comes to creating?
I guess worst fear, maybe people misinterpreting what I'm trying to say. And I mean, obviously we're not all going to see things the same way, but maybe just if somebody had, like, the complete opposite reaction that I had intended for them to have.
Do you plan to go from here?
Man, honestly, like, I don't know. I kind of like to keep it open-minded. Like, I have a general idea, I mean, of what I want to do, but I don't know where it's going to take me. But I feel like the open-mindedness is kind of what takes me to these crazy, like, places. So I guess we'll just kind of have to see what happens.
Is there anyone you feel like you should have a conversation with as well?
I have a few people that are popping into my head. Good friend of mine, Delaney Osby, she does, like, a lot of really cool work where she does, like, ancestral, like, healing and, like, kind of trauma work through it. So it's a little deep, but it's still really cool the way that she works. And she does, like, a mixture of, like, wood burning, like, with, like, painting. Okay, cool. She is so cool, and she just is a very multi-layered type of individual and artist, creative person, super fun and easy to talk to. And then also, I don't know if you're familiar with her, but Mixed Hues. Her name's Samara Barks, also really dope, interesting, creative woman of color here in town. Love her work. Yeah.
Would you like to shout out anyone or anything or any projects you
I would love to shout out myself. I would first just love to shout out my Contra Common family. I've been only here for a few months, but these are just some of the most incredible, kind, helpful people. And just having been in Austin, like, for a minute, like, I mean, I've had the chance to work with other really dope organizations like Spray TX, the Hope Campaign, also really great in terms of like street art, but there's just something about the community here. It's just been so incredible, and I feel like I was at a point where I was just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore, and then I found like this place, and it really re-inspired me in a way that I didn't know that I could be. So I'm just so grateful for them. Yeah. And stuff like that, but mainly just kind of keep going, even if you fall off for a week, 2 weeks, 6 months, a year. Like, if you just kind of keep going, the momentum like starts to build. And don't be afraid to, like, even if you said you wanted to do something, if you tried it, you don't like it, just pivot. Just keep trying things until I think you eventually find like your way and what works for you, and it's really exciting. Oh wow.
Shout out to Lindsay Laser Smith.
Oh wow. I'm drawn more to this one, but wow, what a vibe. I feel this so hard. Wow, it's really beautiful. Like the gradient, the clouds, like everything. Like this is.
Shout out to Lindsay.
Shout out to Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay.